All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. We are here to draft our first streamed Best Ball Mania 4 on this channel in over a month. Let's get to this thing. All right, for anyone who does not know me, my name is Liam Murphy. I am a 3-time NFL Best Ball contest champion, winner of Best Ball Mania 2 and 2 high-stakes drafts on DraftKings. If you could hit the like and subscribe button, means a lot to me. Going to be drafting a Best Ball Mania 4 in the search for $3 million. Today is the anniversary of not only the regular season winner on Best Ball Mania 4, but also friend of the channel, Pat Corain's overall contest winner for the $2 million grand prize of Best Ball Mania 3. Both were drafted on this day, so the drafts are fast and flying. I personally am pretty tired. Got back from New Hampshire, got about 4 hours of sleep, but we got a draft on today, the anniversary of the winning BBM4 team. What's up, Doom? What's going on, guys? Let me know if you're hearing me. Going to be returning to regularly scheduled programming here, pumping out drafts. Going to get my website launched. Yeah, we're drafting the winner today, Daniel. What's going on, brother? Real quick, going to touch on the WSOP before we jump into this. Went to the WSOP, for those who don't know, the World Series of Poker. Had a good time, played a lot of events. Made one deep run, made one final table. It was on an online event. Did not play it the best. Had half the chips with 9 left or something and got 7th. So gambled a little hard there. Overall, the nature tournaments, you got to win to have a great summer. So some days I think I played bad. Some days I think I played good and got unlucky. And that's just, part of poker. You don't get that many hands an hour in live poker. So it was a good time. Do not think I'll go out for a whole month again. Hard to do fantasy football and that, but I'm glad I did it. And I do know, it takes a lot to play live poker. Got to have a lot of patience. I do not think I could do that for a living at all. I did play the main. I met friend of the channel, Sammy Reed, out there. He was in the main too. Unfortunately, busted on day 2. Picked a spot, bluffed. You know how we do. But anyways, enough of that. We'll talk about that later if anyone cares. We're here to draft, of course, a best ball team. So let's get to it. Oh, no, that's not the layout we want. I might be a little rusty. I have been doing some drafts on my own here. Just wanted to see what the market looked like. Jumping in if anyone wants to draft with me. Of course, we timed it perfectly. Nate, we're a professional over here. And Pat's a friend. I don't want to compete with his marathon. Where does he get his ideas? I did a marathon last year. Might do one again this year. Who knows? Got a lot of things to do. Gonna launch the channel, the website. It'll just be like writing articles, selling my rankings. Probably do like $100 a year. I don't know. Something affordable. Way underpriced in my opinion, but I want to get that up and running in time for, I don't know, I guess August at least. So next week or so, going to put some work into that. Going to be streaming, of course. Going to try to get the YouTube channel launched. What's up, Tom? Thank you for announcing yourself. We pulled the 107. That's where Stephon Diggs usually goes. Maybe we'll get back him. Thank you, Ben. Thank you. Missed you guys. Missed the community here. Had a good time jumping on. Of course, I'm so bad at this. My first stream I do it on another person's channel. Honestly, I went to bed at 5 a.m. got up and went to bed at 5 a.m. and I was like, oh fuck, I need to jump on Pat's channel tomorrow. So set my alarm for 10:30. Got up in time. Got a couple coffees. Pushed through it. Gonna be jumping on with Daigle. He invited me on tomorrow at 6. So gonna be on another person's channel. I think that's the 4 for 4 channel. Not really sure. Calvin Ridley, man. Great pick this year. All right. So yeah, I think the market's moved since we've been here last. I think some of the players have moved in the wrong direction. I think some of the players have moved in the right direction. Chipsy, some names I recognize here. Steph Diggs. All right, fine. We'll take Kelsey. We do not have a lot of Kelsey. So I want to get some shares of him. He's a guy I'm a little worried about. He's 34. Could he do the same things as always? Of course he could, right? He doesn't have to do that much. He runs up the field, turns around, catches the ball, boxes people out. It's not like he's like beating people with insane routes. But 34 is not young. Tight end is a highly injured position. And if Kelsey goes down, I don't think that's great for Mahomes, so I don't want zero Kelsey. Of course, he has the capability to break any slate. Has the highest ceiling at tight end, other than maybe Taysom Hill, for weekly ceiling. And I don't want to full fade that. But really, I'm coming around to most spots in the first round, even the 112. You can make things happen. Bijan seems to be falling. I've been getting a lot of Bijan. Right now, it's very clear the wide receiver hungry drafters are out, but that's going to change soon, in my opinion. I think the casual crowd is starting to come out, maybe even today. Like I did one the other night, and I thought it was very bizarre. So we're coming up with a question here is, in my opinion, Allen Hurts being behind Mahomes makes no fucking sense. It's only because he correlates with Kelsey. But I think the quarterbacks are falling incorrectly. However, I keep on seeing some of these quarterbacks get scooped in the... I really want some like third round Allen or Hurts. Obviously, Mahomes I would take too. So we're going to try that. I doubt it's going to happen. We're streaming. We're saying what we want to do, but we're going to try it. Really, no one should take Mahomes. He's maybe the chase drafter if he feels like it, but we'll take Pollard. I still feel good about Pollard. I'm not worried about his leg injury at all. Love his fantasy matchups. Good sign that they haven't added any vets yet. What's up, Chris? I like the rookie tight ends, man. I'm a narrative fader. I'm not on the narrative that the rookie tight ends can't ball. Bilbo saying he's got a Devonta Hurts Brown stack an hour ago. I have one in my portfolio from earlier, but I manufactured it. I'm sure you're getting third round Hurts. Yeah, I did a $3 King of the Beach draft on DraftKings. Built a pretty strong team there. Jeff saying Kelsey has career goals he wants to hit, so I'm not concerned as long as he's healthy. Yeah, as long as he's healthy part, like I don't think he's going to be not motivated, Jeff. I'm just saying betting on the health of a 34-year-old dude is not a great bet. And really, if you're a division opponent of the Chiefs and Kelsey just keeps beating you every fucking year, aren't you going to do what people did to Gronk? Just hit his kneecaps? That happened. You weren't allowed to tackle up high and hit him in the head. So now people started to hit him in the knees. I just feel like that's going to happen to him a little bit, Tight ends get injured all the time. They're at the line of scrimmage. Daniel saying Kelsey doesn't move fast enough to get injured. Don't know if I agree. So we do see Mahomes go to Paul Zilla. The casuals love. I don't know who Paul is, but the people love taking Mahomes. Unfortunately, we do not get hurt, so it is what it is. We don't need him. Kelsey is going to be stacked with the Mahomes at a really high rate anyway, something like, 25, 30%. So not stacking him automatically gives you a little uniqueness. Couple guys we could go with here, but we're gonna get a share of Brees. We're gonna double up on some stud running backs. Ramondre's a guy I have a lot of, but with the Patriots being the betting favorites to receive Dalvin, I'm chilling out on him. I got a share on him in a DK 555 at the 312 the other day. Where are you willing to take Barkley at? I'm definitely taking Barkley. I don't think it. I even take him here sometimes still. It's not a guy I take a lot of. I'm not too concerned about a holdout. It's just they're not going to get paid. It doesn't fix the problem. I also, I don't want to get into the whole running back thing right now, but I think some of the things I've heard are laughable. Like all running backs trying to unionize and sit out. I'm sorry, but like we just see Zamir White. We'd see all these dudes. Like the NFL's not going to buckle for these guys, especially these like Eckler, Barkley, Derrick Henry, the guys that want to do it. They're old. So is it a shame that they don't get paid? Yes. I saw some things I liked for them. Again, don't want to get too into it. Some of the proposed ideas were like, I can't remember the ones I liked. It was like a 2-year contract. Thought that was okay. I don't remember my favorite one I saw though. Yeah, if running backs sit out, others will step up 100%. So yeah, I'm still drafting Jacobs and Barkley. I'm not. I do think it is though a little bit more likely that if they are like nicked up in a game, maybe they start fucking with the teams like that. So like it could be a generational year to go 0 RB if stuff like that starts to happen. Okay. So probably need to grab a wideout here. We got a RB tight end start. I do like Gibbs. He does correlate with Pollard, who would allow me to go volume, but we're going to take Christian Watson. I still like Watson a lot. I think he has a really high individual weak ceiling. I'm not too concerned about Love, and I love their matchup against the Vikings week 17. The Vikings corners were awful last year. I don't think they did a ton to improve that. I believe it's in the dome. Yeah. A lot of running back comments here. Yeah, there's a little FUD on Damian Harris, Chris pointing out, because of Latavius Murray. I mean, look, it's possible. I've been, this is just like IKB, eye test. Damian Harris looks good every time he sees the field. Some people were fired up with some of my takes on Pat's stream. Only, I think you should keep in mind for that we had 4 people on the stream. You only get like 5 seconds to defend your takes. Guys, by the way, smash that subscribe button. I don't even know how many subscribers we're at, but we got 2K subscriber goal. Help us out. Ron, touched on Vegas, bro. Rewind back for that. Yeah, I see no problems with Christian Watson. I view him as like a cheaper Olave, basically. Doesn't really make sense why Olave, is basically like unpunished for like Derek Carr of all people, and Watson's basically being punished. Yeah, like the stream. Drop a whatever comment for the YouTube algo after. We got to get back Dome teams, baby. That's how I imagine you talk, Joe Smo. It's a compliment. All right, let's see here. Another guy I've been seeing falling, especially on DK where it makes less sense to me, is TJ Hawkinson. Still like him a lot. Yes, Addison complicates it, but Cousins a tight end guy. I need to watch the Netflix show Quarterback. I heard there's a lot of Cousins love out there. Give it a watch. Clearly, this is a wide receiver heavy room here. With Bilf going 4, most teams going 3. So we're going to have to figure it out. Go volume. Yeah, range where like you're not thrilled with anyone, but we're going to take JSN. I don't know how it shakes down between him and Lockett, but I know he's good. Yeah, I mean, it's a little bizarre that Marcus Mariota, who I doubt we'll even see in the NFL again, was featured, but hey, it is what it is. Yeah, it's less wide. All the piss boys are out. I do think some casuals are out too. Like, I think the winner was drafted here last year. I think that speaks to like a casual audience, but of course, it's not great logic to be like, oh, the winner was drafted last year. Of course, it will be drafted again this year. Like, that's just nonsense. Thank you, Carlos. Thank you, bro. Hey, if people like and smash the subscribe button, we wouldn't be able to leave. I believe too, Jeff. It's funny. I left for a month, but all that's happened is the markets just sat with their uncertainty. Like, yeah, we got resolution on Hopkins. He's now a Titan, but we have not gotten resolution on Dalvin Cook, Leonard Fournette, Kamara, and Joe Mixon suspensions. A lot of things. This is about Best Ball Mania for number 73 for me, I believe. For anyone curious. I got to sit down and map out my schedule. Again, I'm exhausted. We're going to go in the hot tub after this. Maybe light one down. Okay. At pick 66. We're just taking Kittle. We're doing the Kittle-Kelsey pairing. Don't try this at home. We only have 2 wide receivers through 6 rounds. But arguably 2 of the tight ends with some of the highest weekly ceilings in the game. And I just think it's wrong for Kittle to go in the 6th. And I do not want to give it to anyone else, even though it's not the best fit with my team. It's okay to go double elite tight end, in my opinion. If Fournette signs with the team, how high does he jump? Yeah, the problem with that, Cal, be cool, is like, could he not just be Julio Jones? Where, okay, great, you got all this closing line value on Leonard Fournette, and then he sucks. All these free agent running backs are Will Fuller. Maybe Chipsy. I do think that their running backs makes it a little bit different because they get to, unlike wideout, where it's like you want to be in camp, the running backs sometimes benefit from not being signed because if a starter goes down in free agency or in training camp, they get more money. And how fucking complicated is it to be a running back? They've been being a running back all their life. They don't need to jive with the quarterback and learn the whole route book. They're either running zone or out, or power, hitting holes and shit, What's up, Clay? Ben asking, are you interested in weekly winners at all? I will do, 1 or 2, Ben, but it's a $20K top prize for 1 week. I have zero FOMO not doing it because if it's a very similar contest to the battle royales where if I want a best ball type thing, I can just do a battle royale draft. So I don't know that. I don't envision myself 115 at all. Just not, it's just not a big enough. I like to hunt top prizes here. We like to surf the chaos. We like to get rewarded big time when we're right. And so, yeah, 20K is a lot of money. Don't get me wrong, but it is, it's hard to do. It's a fun challenge. I would like to see it maybe a little bit different. Yeah, there's a lot of uncertainty. I'm definitely drafting, some dead roster spots. And I think that, I think if you're too afraid to do that, you're not drafting optimally right now. So Trevor at pick 79. Fuck it. We'll try to get a Zay Jones, maybe an Evan Ingram, go insane. I really like Trevor this year. Let's see. Who did I piss off? Bilf. Sorry, bro. Oversized Bilbo with Ridley. Sorry. But we're not giving you T-Law. So, is this my favorite team I've ever built? No. But are we just going to smash every late round wideout? Absolutely. 3 mils greater than 20K? Absolutely, Cal. Be cool. Are any of us winning the 3 bill? No. But Ridley and ETN, fuck. Oh, he's saying on his team. I don't think Bilbo, if it wasn't me, Bilf was taking him, man. You were never getting him. And you having Ridley and ETN, you don't even need Trevor. You got that running back wideout correlation. Tom, this may be shocking to you, but I'm not actually sorry. These motherfuckers want to try to jump on and get the streaming EV? I don't think so, Tom. They're in with a shark. So the top of the draft is pretty similar on both sites, but we're getting to the rounds where things start to differ, especially late. In some ways, I think it's sharper on Underdog. In other ways, I think it's sharper on DK. Okay, so clearly we need a wideout here. But Evan Ingram's sitting right there, so let's do it. We're getting real weird, guys. We're going to have to go fragile at RB, volume at wideout. Don't try this at home. Is this build unique? 100%. Evan Ingram just got a huge contract extension. I think there was a little uncertainty there with Ingram and the Jags drafting a tight end in the second. If I get sniped on Zay Jones and I really am not stacked with Trevor and I don't want to be unstacked with him. And Evan Ingram showed a ceiling that few have at tight end, Dude scored 40 in a game. This dude went to Vegas and lost his mind. I know it's not a build for everyone, but I do like to build some alpha tight end rooms. By the way, there's a link in the YouTube description to join my Discord. You got to get in there. There's one man, shout out Bollock, who drafts like almost the identical team every time. Players are like way over ADP. People have fun with it. So, yeah, I can't afford to go like 6 RBs. 4 to 5 with Pollard and Brees is how we're going to have to rock it. And then maybe even single quarterback. Probably a second. And hope that hope I can hit on some wideouts. If it wasn't Ingram, I would have taken like MT or Zay, someone like that. All right, I'm not a Cortland Sutton guy. This is probably one of my first shares, but we need wideouts. He's way after ADP. So that's good. And, with me having Ingram, Kittle, and Kelsey, it should make a little bit of tight end panic late. Not tight end panic, but it's the same concept when the whole room is drafting wideouts, you can get buried if you don't. And if you zoom up 3 of the elite quarterbacks or 3 of the elite tight ends, then other people, people are going to start competing for these guys, maybe even a little bit above ADP to start filling in their tight end position, which you should do in their shoes. Obviously, Kelsey, Kittle, Ingram are capable of hitting my flex. Hoping that Pollard and Brees lock down the running back spot. I mean, they could legitimately finish RB1 and RB2 on the season. I don't think anyone would be surprised by that. They have the same bye. That's happening, but we're building unique, Jeff. Let's go. Thank you. Thank you, Cal. Bolduck. I'm excited. I'm ramping up the excitement, man. I'm excited to see it's not impossible we get a camp report. I'm excited for camps to start because so many players that could jump all over. Trey Lance could be the starter. It could be all false mirage. So many things could happen. I can tell the casuals are out too because people who just started following me on Twitter are just being mean as anonymous people like to do and just have wild, crazy takes. Okay. I don't usually pass on these running backs here, but we're going to take Zay Jones. Get some extra correlation with Trevor. Zay should still have a downfield role. Maybe he doesn't score as many points with Ridley there, but still like him to have some downfield, score some touchdowns. Clay, I don't personally, just because you have a red badge doesn't mean you're the best drafter in the world. Some red badges are not good drafters. They just draft a lot. Right? The person who plays the most poker in the world is not the best poker player. I don't even think it needs a Ridley and Kirk injury. It just needs Ingram and Zay to score in enough in the regular season, and then more importantly in the playoffs and finals. There's not going to be a lot of Kelsey Kittle teams. There will be even less Kelsey Kittle Ingram teams. There's not going to be a lot of teams with Trevor in the 7th. I think. I mean, maybe he's falling a bit, but still the 7th. And there's not going to be as many teams thin at wideout as mine. Yeah, I really like the Jags. I think it's laughable that I assume they're Titans fans are thinking that they're going to compete for the division. The Jaguars, I could see actually winning the Super Bowl. Do not see that in the wildest of dreams for the Titans. Tanner saying he'd put his money on the Jags being a top 5 offense this year. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I see them around there, though. Off the top of the head, Eagles, Bills, Bengals. And then there's a lot of other offenses that the difference between 5 and 10 may not be that big a difference. The Ravens, the whatever, all those teams in the mix. All right. So we're going to go with Mitchell. He's getting close to a tier break for us. Mitchell and Kittle, just a further bet on the 49ers offense. The non-CMC Debo Ayuk weeks. What's your Justin Shorter exposure? He's not a guy I have a lot of right now, but it really would not shock me if any of Hardy, Shorter, or Sherfield are like key pieces. Like a Gabe Davis injury, and Shorter might just fill in. Or, I mean, Shorter was like, I think, the best wideout prospect in his high school class or something. And so, non-zero chance he returns to form and maybe is just better. I don't know. So yeah, I'm excited for camp to like read about stuff like that. Nate saying Lawrence hate is crazy with how high his receiver / tight end goes. Yeah, I don't think it's Lawrence hate. What I think it is more is, in general, the people that are going to be drafting Lawrence are the drafters who have Ridley and Kirk. And then also, if they don't take him in the 5th, 6th, which is kind of like a tier break in some of the running backs and wideouts. So like oftentimes, like here, this guy went Godwin Sanders. This guy went Jones Addison. So they would have had to sub one of those guys for Lawrence. And sometimes drafters don't want to do that. They want to push it. Chris asking, are you putting Shakir a tier ahead of Hardy, Sherfield, Shorter? I think we have to put him like a mini tier above, but I personally thought he looked good last year, but the Bills did not treat him that way. And so, all right, we'll take McKinnon here. Works with the Kelsey pick. He's after ADP. I was tempted to go Kincaid there. I almost did. Stream would have lost their minds. But yeah, I think Shakir looked good, but the unwillingness to play him is confusing. And so camp reports have been good on Sherfield. They've been, Hardy has been good in the past. But yeah, I think he's a mini tier above. But it won't shock me if it's more just like they all kind of get their reps against certain defenses and or teams. Pacheco pup list. I have drafted 0 Pacheco. When did that just come out? I don't draft Pacheco because he's a little bit cheaper now, but he's pretty expensive. I thought it was bizarre how the McKinnon Pacheco thing shook down. He runs like a horse where he like gets his knees up and stuff and gallops, but misses holes sometimes. His only his path to being good is just, of course, scoring a bunch of touchdowns, which the Chiefs offense will score a lot of touchdowns. But I thought it was possible that he just gets replaced, right? Yeah, Nick, I think it's very possible we look back and are being like, wow, we faded Trey Lance just goes crazy. CEH shares go Burr. I also do not have any CEH. I have the most of McKinnon, but I've kind of stopped drafting him because he's gotten, I have a lot more 15, 16, 17. So that's something I have to revisit. It's just kind of like a mind thing. No, and there's paths where Pacheco smashed, right? Like I recognize that the fade could have hurt me, but I just thought this is a guy that needs to produce touchdowns. He's a dead zone back. And he goes I like David Montgomery a lot more than Pacheco. I like James Conner a lot more than Pacheco. I like Cam Akers a lot more, who used to go next to him in the draft. Yeah, Kev, I think these people are very unsharp dropping Kincaid. I'll talk about that in a bit here. Let me focus in and see what the fuck we're doing. Clearly, we're going to take Tyler Higbee here. Just kidding. I don't know, man. These wide receivers are just so uninspiring right here. We're going to take Roshan. Could be good. And we'll probably stop there. Stop there at those 5 RBs. And load in 5 wideouts and maybe a quarterback. Yeah, I mean, I view Kincaid more as like, and I understand why they're doing this. It's a rookie tight end, but I just refuse to believe that the Bills drafted him in the first to not be a big part of the team. The Bills, I think, have a lot of sharp money on them to win the Super Bowl because I think people that know football recognize how much their roster improved this year. And they do have the most money bet on them to win the Super Bowl. I view him more as a discounted JSN, Johnston, those guys, right? Like the four wideouts who went next to each other in the draft, Zay Flowers, Addison. I view Kincaid as a discounted version of that, and he could outscore them. Others view him as a more expensive Laporta, Mayer, those guys there. And so we'll see who's right. I'm very happy to go down with the ship, though, on Kincaid. People are talking about Deneric Prince. He's a guy I drafted a lot in pre-draft because he has an explosive profile. Him being an undrafted free agent, I've not been mixing him in, but I do want to have a little bit of him. And me liking Kincaid does not mean I don't like Knox, because I like Knox too. All right, I got like very little Purdy shares. Ooh. We were going to go Purdy, but we're going to go Love instead because we have Watson. And this team being how it is at wideout, I don't think it's the best team to take a 0 at quarterback. I'm not usually a bye week guy. I'm even okay taking 0s at QB, but we're going to stop at 2 here. Go Love. I probably could have pushed it and maybe one of the two would have fallen, but this I think is better. Bye week 6 and 9, you got to correlate that, of course. And we got to just hammer wideout from here on out and see who makes it to us. So, yeah, I usually don't build teams like this where they're weak at wideout, but I think Love with me have like one of my few wideouts being Watson makes a lot of sense too. And yeah, I could have stopped at 4 RBs, but I want to get the Bears RBs. I've just not been drafting because I was, I just didn't know what the order is of them, but I've been drafting all those guys now. I mean, the theory of Kincaid is that he's the slot wide receiver, not a tight end. AKA him and Shakir and whoever are sharing the duties. Yeah, I think Kincaid and Knox on the same team is totally fine. And, I'm a narrative fader. People are holding on to that narrative. Rookie tight ends can't produce. We'll see. I think the athletes are better entering the NFL. And maybe we just had some weak tight end classes. And like a lot of these fucking first round tight ends in the past have had trash quarterbacks, not offenses that are going to maybe lead the league in scoring. Do I buy Gesicki on the same thesis? Not really, because I think the Patriots might be the worst offense in the league. So, makes it tough. So Purdy would have made it back to me. Obviously not going him here. Let's mix in Shakir. Piece of a high-powered offense. Makes sense if I'm drafting a lot of Kincaid to have some Shakir. In the seasons where Kincaid's a bad pick, it's probably because Shakir's a good one. Bildo, are you asking really? Like, do I think the Patriots really could be the worst offense in the league? Yes. I would much rather draft Gesicki than Hunter Henry. Hunter Henry seems like what do you win when you win, right? Whereas Gesicki, if he does do good, I think he could actually have a good season. He again more like a wideout. And I would consider mixing in. Yeah, and I like Ramondre. I like Ramondre on them, but last year I had some optimism with Mac Jones that he could be like a Kirk Cousins, but I don't know, man. It was rough. Their division is so tough. Like so tough. Their schedule's really hard. Go look at their schedule. Tell me the games they're winning. And like Bill Belichick would seem to me rather lose by the least than try to go win. They benched Mac at points. People like to talk about the change to Bill O'Brien, who was like one of the worst head coaches ever and an idiot, as if that's a big positive. But Bill is still there, and he's the guy who chose those two buffoons to run the offense. So if I lose because the Patriots are amazing, I'm okay with that. All right, guys, swing for upside here. John Mechie clearly could be, wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2 on Houston. Stacks in the same division with T-Law. So we're light on week 17 game stacks, but that's okay. I'm not someone, I think some analysts and people misunderstand the week 17 thing. 1 or 2 bringbacks can be enough because oftentimes the good teams in the NFL dominate possession. Or when 2 teams match up, it's not always a shootout. Sometimes the good team, or sometimes one of the teams, just dominates the possession of the football and scores all the points. And the other team either has some fumbles or unluckiness or whatever, So it's like, I need the Jags to dominate the Panthers. Do I need a bring back? No. I need the 49ers to dominate the Commanders. Do I need a bring back? No. What's up, Steph? Want to have Steph on stream. Got to get some ladies on the channel. Steph does good work. Check her out. I'll reach out, Steph, once I settle in. I got a lot of stuff to get to here, but I'll reach out to make that happen. Those who know my mom, women's gender study in college, fierce supporter of women and me as well. All right, so, the wideout room, it's not the best, but it's not the worst. Can Zay Jones give me some spikes? Sure. Cortland Sutton, it's kind of confusing why Tim Patrick's creeping up in price, and Mims is, and Sutton is, and Judy is. It's like we just know all 4 are going to produce. I've liked Tim Patrick in the past, but okay. We got to dig deep here. I'm not taking Devontae Parker after I just shit on him. Or am I? I might need to. I might need to get a Parker share. It's gross. Between him and Slayton, I saw some Slayton fun on the timeline. I drafted him a lot. I kind of like him, but all right, let's get a Parker share. It's my first Parker share. Shakir and Parker to the promised land. I think his extension was insane. Yeah, Chipsy, that, like, you don't need a Patriot. I know I just did that, but you don't need that, right? Like, the Bills could and probably will beat the Patriots like 40-13. Just shows you how big the Patriots media market is, that a team that is expected to be that bad in fantasy football is like pretty constantly being talked about. Like, we don't hear people talking about the Cardinals roster, right? We hear people talking about the Patriots all the time, though, trying to find these gems. I'm not a believer in the gems. All right, so the wideout room, obviously 3 elite tight ends. People got pissed off. I called Evan Ingram elite It's elite potential, man. I like Ingram more than Goddard. It would not shock me if he outscores really any of the guys. You know, he could outscore Mark Andrews even. An injury to the Jags wide receiver core or just a couple 40-point spike weeks, boom. Clearly going to end this with a wideout. Considering Marshall, don't know if he got drafted or not. He did. All right, we're taking Slayton. I still think Slayton, 700 yards. I think he ran a little poor on touchdowns. I think he's a good bet for a half-point PPR site. Again, with this team, we need to swing for upside. There's uncertainty that's keeping the Giants wide receiver core depressed in price. Slayton has good weekly spike potential. So I like him on this team. So we finish up with a 2-5-8-3. Trevor and Love at QB, a cheap Trevor. We got Pollard, Breece Hall, Elijah Mitchell, Jerick McKinnon, Roshan Johnson. Not the most comfortable room of 5, but definitely strong enough if Breece is healthy and Pollard's healthy and both of them can do the things they can do. They are smashing, top 5 range at running back, if not more. We know Elijah Mitchell has a high individual weekly ceiling. We know Jerick McKinnon does too. Is he playing week 17? I don't know. You don't know. Roshan Johnson, I'm really not sure how it sorts out in the Bears running back room, but I think he's a swing at upside. That's a team I want running backs from. Kelsey Kittle Ingram smashed at tight end. Tight ends can fill in the flex spot for me. And then of these 8 wideouts, we need 3 of them a week. Just 3. Watson, I'm expecting him to hit the lineup most weeks. JSN, can he overtake Lockett or work alongside Lockett and Metcalf to get some weeks? Sutton, need a couple spike weeks from him. Maybe even a trade. If the Broncos suck, they could trade him maybe. Zay Jones, need him to have some spike weeks, and Shakir. And then Mechie, Parker, Slayton are stabs at uncertain wide receiver rooms where if we knew how the pecking order would search out, I think these guys would be more expensive and or cheaper. And so hopefully Mechie is the 1 or 2, Parker is the 1 or 2, Slayton is the 1 or 2. And if they are great, guys, because I think the upgrade to CJ Stroud from Davis Mills is huge. Patriots, again, I'm very pessimistic about, and I think they have one of the worst Week 17 matchups for them. And then Slayton, I am optimistic about personally, but going to have to see how it sorts out there. All right, guys, I am tired. So if you do me a favor, hit the like, hit the subscribe button. When I end the stream, drop whatever comment, in the YouTube, in the comments. Really helps the algorithm, I believe. You can make up anything. Be like, whoa, can't believe you did that with your last round pick. Anything. I don't care. And then I'll be back tomorrow, of course. Going to be back with more streams. Going to mix in the other sites as well. We'll probably do another BBM4. See if there's any lag from, maybe the winner is the next day this year. I'll probably be doing some drafts tonight, but not going to be streaming them. Thank you so much, everyone. We got 60 of you in the live stream turning out for not really a lot of notice. I'm not the best at that. Again, the link to join the Discord is in the YouTube description below. Hope you guys have a great day and see you tomorrow. Peace out, everyone.